I have something of vital importance I'm going to try to put on YouTube. This is vitally important, and I will elaborate on it further after I put this on YouTube. This is extremely important, especially in modern times. Okay, it's staying on. Okay. No. Okay, I'm going to skip the first part because it's very personal. It could be applied, or it could be understood socially too. I've seen it in the hospitals many times. So this whole society, and perhaps all world societies, are descending into acts of barbarity that only make sense in one way. And this is not the main thing that I'm going to get into. The outrageous imbalance of the distribution, but it has to, it's like the start of it. Monetary wealth, which leads especially the entertainment industry into a neo-Colosseum-like habit that gives weirder and weirder pleasures to the unaware, especially anyway masses. They're extracting all the what Shakespeare was doing in art, holding up a mirror to ourselves with this reality show. Everything, and they started doing this with one of the police dramas, where they would take out the personal lives of the officers and just concentrate solely on the crimes, that the crime became the star of the show, and the personal part of it was less important. And I think that was dangerous in certain ways. The discovery in linguistics science of metonymial metaphors, which are like, you take, say, Ford invented the tempo today. The tempo is a make of the Ford. The Ford is the make of the tempo model in the metonymial metaphor. And there are other types of metaphors. I discovered 5 types of metonymonies too, other ones too. But this might give us a key to getting ourselves out of this situation, because you only need an enumeration of 3 to attain a metonymonial relationship between material objects or living beings. This low mathematical quantification directly opposes the concept of greed. I am not talking about metonymonial relations within a sentence structure. I am talking about geometric metonymonial relations involving the 5 to 7 senses, maybe 8. Take 3 chairs. One of them is different from the other 2 only in its color or perhaps shape. Apply this concept to all other arenas of science, but I am thinking of one, especially forensic science. Apply this concept to other theories applicable to forensic science in the exact opposite side of the numerical spectrum. One is more used societally, the other individually. A man has a son or daughter who is dying of liver cancer. She is only middle-aged and doesn't drink, or doesn't drink much. This needs, I would say doesn't. This needs to be paid very close and minute attention to if you get a photographic view of the room-to-room layout of the house. You will also notice on a societal level the difference, especially in suburban areas, differentiating shapes, not so much sizes of houses. If a home is 3 stories high and lived in by only one family and is square in shape, this contradicts what I say later on. No, it doesn't. Square in shape beside this family will subconsciously at least be socialist in their daily living habits, but not their political viewpoints. A man is now elderly, and as I previously said, his daughter might be middle-aged. He belongs, obviously, and this is in brackets, perhaps highly, to a perhaps highly orthodox religious group for years and years. depending on certain objects within the rooms of the house, which he's giving his daughter brutally to live alone in while she is sick. Religious institutions, the family having been born, the families first having been born in the same state, religious institution. No, I'm wrong about that one, because they say they weren't born. The children were born. No, the children were born in different states too. In the father or mother's earliest married years, they will live in a poor or possibly richer area, depending upon the financial bracket their parents belong to, their own parents belong to. Now, this situation by the father is thoroughly planned and executed in such a way over years that he has never found out. I am trying to warn people about something that is going on the societal level involving the amount of life insurance policies, besides many other factors particular to these situations, cars, real estate, property values, etc. And it also might be happening unconsciously or subconsciously on the part of the parents. They might be believing something that society tells them, or it might be happening directly consciously. Like if they move the kids and they're starting to buy those high potency caffeine, vitamin, souped up drinks and stuff like that. And that depends on the number of children in a family. In a large family, say 4 or 5 children, which place a particular child is situated in the family as far as order of age, the oldest might be more or less vulnerable. Now, a girl would have, before the attack on the Twin Towers, been much more vulnerable. Why? Because there were much less younger girls joining the military there weren't much younger girls joining the military before the attack on New York City and the entire nation. The key to understanding the psychology of a family is what sort of object is displayed just between the first and second floor, especially if there are between 1 and 3 children in a particular family. If there are 5 children in a family, their non-particular habits will lean more toward the socialistic. There will be in every last single one family, 2 stories house, a painting, photograph, or mirror situated on the wall just inside the front and side door to the house. If there is a picture or a photograph, but not a mirror necessarily, depending upon what's on the opposite side of the mirror, there's chimes on the opposite side of the mirror. They like food. If there is a picture in the place of a sad-looking child, whatever young or middle-aged son or especially daughter that adult same child is, a brother or sister of them, has approximately 1 month to 3 years to live. You can blame this, at least partially. I don't know if I can say this without getting in big trouble from certain pharmaceutical companies that invent drugs purposely brutal on the liver, and the fact that child 3 years following the age of puberty experienced mental or physical problems 3 years after. And I have much more to say about this, and it will go into other areas too. Like I would think about a lot of things pertaining to how I would get more involved in how we can use this idea of metnomonial narrowness of number to try to help, because if we don't stop loving money so much instead of each other, this is what we got. And so I noticed in this apartment now, no, I didn't notice in this apartment, I noticed in another apartment, there was one, there's a picture over the cellar door, and then there's another picture right where I said without the type. Now the picture, whatever group or people or whatever is in the wall that's between the first floor and the second floor is much more respected than the one that's going towards the cellar, I would say. I think in a certain way there could be a dichotomy going on there too. So then I'll try to develop this further. But this is very important understanding what's going on, especially since the 1950s, after the baby boom. So I hope I can put this on YouTube now. It won't take too long. So this is very important to understand. There's a lot of other things that are going on in society too that need to be figured out if we're going to save lives.